Maybe. There we go. I think we're
Hey!
live now. I don't know what happened. Rotting Ricky just froze.
I think maybe what happened is I tripped over the power cord here and brought the whole house down. But I apologize.
Brought the whole house down, man. The house of cards fell, but that's okay. We're back. We got Cindy backstage. We're going to get to some housekeeping real quick. I feel like we better hurry this up because the the gremlins are out. Kevin joining us. Whoops.
I know.
Thought it was my side. Yeah, I thought it was this side too. All right. Let's talk some new the new issue out right now.
There we go.
Cover issue 9. You can get it over there at the new revamped or Junkie. See what I did there?
Yes, you did. I saw it.
And it absolutely looks great. That's a little preview of what you can expect when you go over there to indiehorrorjunkie.com. We got, the new magazine, the next magazine. You said you had some, you want to speak on the next issue already?
Well, first off, we have this issue that just came out, obviously, earlier this month. And we've got some great articles. It's one of our biggest, if not the biggest issue out. We even have a big article in there on the Saska sisters, two incredible filmmakers that we got the pleasure of chatting with and hanging out with at MegaCon last year. Well, we have a big a big article in there on their newest film, which is called The Festival of the Dead. That's on right now that you can stream all over the world. And I'm just so excited to finally get them in the magazine. We'll hopefully be doing more with them soon. But yes, the next issue is slated for July 13th, 2 days before my birthday. So it's going to be coming out July 13th. On the cover is going to be a new feature film that I'm really excited about called The Boy from Below. So we're getting some artwork in from them. We should be putting the cover out probably the first week of June to start teasing that. And that'll come out on July 13th.
Awesome. Boy. Yeah, I mean, they just keep getting better and better.
Yeah.
I mean, they really do. I mean, look-wise, feel-wise, this is the real deal, people. You can also get the digital download that will cost you a fraction of what the magazines go for, which how much are they again?
The magazines, we're selling them right now for $15, but that also comes with free shipping.
Okay, awesome. And the digital downloads?
Digital downloads are $5, and once we get the order, include your email address with the order on PayPal, and we will get it right over to you in email.
Awesome. And while you're in the area picking up magazines and such, why not grab one of these bad boys right here?
That's the T-shirt, not the model.
You're right. That is Miss Amy. Yeah, the T-shirt. Amy does not come with the T-shirt.
No.
But if I'm not mistaken, you came up with the back. Didn't you? Let's see.
It was one drunken evening.
Oh, nice. Addicted to blood pumping, girl screaming, hatchet to the head, hide under the bed, and call your mother. Indie horror. That's awesome.
Those are the kind of movies I like.
Exactly, right? Let's see. Of course, the film festival.
That's right.
The second annual Indie Horror Junkie Film Festival. Taking submissions. Now, we had to go over a few details and make sure this was right. And if we find that this is not the right dates,
it's Otis's fault.
It's my fault, and I will correct it. But we have the early bird, portion of getting your film into the Indie Horror Junkie Film Festival. That early bird deadline is June 30th. So about a month from now, give or take. So you want to get into that. After that starts the regular deadline. And that goes where that regular deadline ends on the 31st. But you don't have to worry about that because you're going to want to get in on the early bird.
Absolutely.
So get your shorts, get your features in there. You've seen in the little clip in the beginning of the show, that the beginning of every other show.
Right.
You may have not seen it this one, but had lots of fun. As you mentioned, the Saska sisters out there, they came by the table. You see them in the video. Lots of people, big crowds, lots of fun. And you're going to want to get your stuff in there. I'm hoping to get the newest installment to the Helvira universe over there, the feature for that one. I know a feller that's in that. Let's man, this guest and yourself have a history.
Yes.
And Cindy and Amy have worked together. It's why I kind of wish Amy was here, but she's not feeling well. So, yeah. But I mean, we're going to get into a lot of good stuff. And I'm going to tell you what, there's something you guys need to check out. And that is, let me, I got to find the picture real quick. Where's it at? I just had it.
And see, we already have somebody in the chat here asking how much for the model. You see?
I know. Well,
you got to be careful. No, sorry, Zoello. I'm sorry if I mispronounced that name, but we need Amy around here. We love her too much, but we appreciate the offer.
Definitely. This one right here, manufactured, and I love the play on words. This is going to be, we're going to be talking to Cindy Copeland, which you will see in there. This is a great, I watched it earlier. You can watch it on YouTube. That's the great part about doing these shows. My show prep involves watching really cool movies. Check this out. This is the trailer, and we're going to come back with Miss Cindy here. I'm gonna tell you what. Welcome to the show, Cindy. First off, thank you for taking the time out to chat with us. That was fantastic, and we were talking a little bit about how you shot this and the kind of camera and how you went about it. And it was such a small. But I'm gonna tell you what. That's the thing that really sticks out the most to me. We're just jumping right in. We don't care. That's it. That's the thing that just really sticks out to me when I watched it earlier. The lighting. There was some very bright Italian horror type, the reds, the blues. Those sucked you right in. Tell us, let's talk manufactured before we get into how you and Rick met each other, because it's a really cool indie film story.
Well, thank you. Yeah. As actors, we get to a point in our life, we think, what could I write something myself? Could I actually pay and get actors involved and make something substantial and create an idea and direct it and do all of it? And that's what I did on this one. And I feel very proud of it. I had a great team of players on this, and I had 3 cameras sometimes. It was like what I love about it, they're all men, but they all respected my vision. And I can't tell you how many times they would say, this is your vision. We want to capture that. And so it's kind of I didn't realize how scary it was to a lot of people. My friends would say, man, I had to hide my eyes in some places. I thought, God, I thought you were going to get killed. And I thought all these things. I thought, oh, really? Oh, cool. Very cool.
Mission accomplished.
In front of my journey, because it is very Twilight Zone, Otis, as you notice, and I think noticed that too. I love that kind of suspense thing where you have no idea where it's going. And I don't want to give away the end because you will never guess it anyway, but I don't want to tell you what it is.
No,
But
trust me. You won't guess it. It had me going down one path. The end is a big time curveball. So, and that is on your YouTube channel, which
on my YouTube channel, yes.
everybody will see that YouTube actually right there at Cindy Copeland 111 1112. So you said that was, how big of a crew did you have? Was it a pretty small deal?
It was pretty small. There was a couple outdoor scenes that I shot with just Juan, and Kai did the sound, and we had so much fun together. And then there was times there was maybe 6 or 7 people on set. It just depended what was needed for the day. Sure. But all the actors had a great time. We filmed it at my home, so that saved money. The cop scenes, believe it or not, every one of them was filmed in my garage on a green screen. And so,
what?
Except the one when we drove away at the store. No, I'm sorry. All the inside of the car was all in my garage.
Okay, I was going to say that one scene with the cop car driving down the street or whatever it is, that was actually on the street.
That was actual. And then when they were at my neighbor's house and they were outside and they got that, of course, that was outside. That was live. But all their conversations was all inside their car.
That looked good. Very nice.
Yeah.
Tyler Mars is an amazing editor, and talk about somebody to work with. It was fantastic. I met him at a party in LA, and we just stayed connected, and he was brilliant to work with. The stuff he brought in, the ideas he had, the way he made everything look was just phenomenal. Just phenomenal.
Where did this, I want to pick your brain because, man, where did this, idea for this come about? How did this originate?
Well, I don't really know. All I can tell you is I live in this house with a lot of windows, and I thought, you know what, this is really a dollhouse. It's really this is really a dollhouse. I mean, there was just a lot of things, and I started thinking, what if this and what if that? And we could film stuff in my attic, and it just started from there. It just
happened. Yeah.
I'm sure Rick gets ideas just like that. It's like, I'm going to write this and you write it. And that's pretty much what I did. And it had a nice flow to it. The storyline worked. And I built the set, the end set that you saw, like the house and all that stuff.
Yeah. And, I have to say, since I watched Skinamarink, and there being virtually no dialogue other than some children, yes. I thought that really set an eerie tone to it, and I kind of got that in the beginning of Manufactured. There wasn't a whole lot of dialogue. There was maybe a phone call.
Yes.
And that kind of, it puts you, at least me anyway, maybe I'm speaking for myself, but it puts me into the character a little more and into the atmosphere.
I think anything that you write, and this is what I love as being a writer, the stuff I have written, I want to engage my audience. I want them to think they're pretty smart. Yeah. I want them to not just be shown everything. I want them to follow along and be a part of and try to figure out what's going on. I think it's more intriguing. And you're right, there was a lot in here where there wasn't a whole lot said. But you understood what was going on. And
exactly
stuff that was going on with her life, trying to figure out certain things, and then knowing the other cop, we knew each other from somehow. So it was a lot of fun, to make. And
that's awesome.
But thank you for watching, by the way.
Oh no, absolutely, I enjoyed it. That's why I love doing show prep for this podcast. I just get to watch cool movies.
Yeah. So I submitted to several film fests. I thought, oh boy, I'm all excited, and it didn't do anything. But it went to Saints and Sinners down in Florida. And next thing I know, I get this win from Rick. He says, that's all he said. I loved your film. I loved your film. So I went down for I think it was the screening of all the films is what it was for the day.
It was the actual festival, yeah.
Yeah, it was the actual festival. And next thing I know, I got a total win as best feature. And from that point on, Rick and I have become friends. I've worked on several of his films, doing 2 more this year. I mean, and the people I've met, like Amy and Diana Durango, it's like they're like my daughters. Rick's like my brother. Sorry, you can't be my son, but it's like, it's just I just love everybody. I love being a part of that, and I'm very, very excited because I've used it as a calling card, that movie, for several things. Like if I want to get into someone's films, I say, well, why don't you watch this? At least you'll see what I can do, as an actress and stuff. And it's worked as a calling card. But there is a couple copyright issues, which aren't a big deal, that we're going to fix and maybe try to get it out on streaming devices, because I want to do that. I want it to be streaming.
How long is it?
54 minutes.
Okay. All right.
54 minutes. I mean, we thought about trying to cut it down as a short film, but when I talked to Tyler about that, I don't know where we'd cut this, Andy. I think I'd leave it alone. I personally don't know where I would cut it to make. Is that what you're asking? Could I make it shorter, maybe?
No. I was trying to see, because as a feature film, to see what would work as a feature film, because I've got some connections with some potential streaming services that might be able to help.
Oh,
but
very
54
awesome.
minutes, yeah. We'll definitely chat about that.
The beginning, the old songs. I love old songs. And Peggy Lee sings this song, but she sang it in the 50s. So it's not free domain. The song itself is, and I love it. I found the guy that sang with the old crackling record and everything. So I want to incorporate that. And then my friend Bill Kirkenbauer, he is famous. And he's been on Johnny Carson, Jay Leno, all of them. That's why you hear Johnny Carson when you see a scene, but that is from Johnny Carson. He had sent me another one that I was supposed to use, but we love that one so much. And we realize it's just for a film fest, but if it does more, I do have his actual comedy, almost the same routine that we will use, and keep the Johnny Carson thing out of it. But it's very nice of him to give that to me.
I did find myself trying to listen to the jokes, because that was one of the part where there wasn't any dialogue, and I love Johnny Carson. As soon as I heard the monologue, when that came up, I'm like, oh, that's Johnny.
Oh, yeah, I know it. I know. Yeah. But Bill's had his own TV show. It was a spinoff from something else. And he played a coach in Just the 10 of Us. I think it was for 3 years. His series was on. He was on Frasier. He was on a lot of TV shows through the years. Even with Robin Williams, he was blessed with that.
Oh, very, very nice. Now, before we get in, because you've worked with Rick with numerous projects, but you have a couple that I'm interested in that I want to bring up. One, there's a snake in my boot. I'm terrified of snakes.
Okay.
But I'm just kind of curious about this.
But it's not a horror film, but if you ever like Blazing Saddles, it's really along that line. And it's a 20-minute short that we want to film in Tucson. It's funny. That's all I can tell you. Funny.
Oh, that's awesome.
I love Blazing Saddles.
Well, I hooked up with this writer. Her name is Nikki. I forgot her last time because she goes by Nikki Nintar on Nikki Durbin. And I told her this. I've had this idea for 4 years, and I told her. She wrote it in 2 days. I said, "Are you kidding me?" So we collaborated and added more and more and more to it. So
let me ask you something.
Yes.
Is the title from Toy Story?
No.
No? Okay, because you know what I'm talking about, do you?
No.
You know Woody, the character Woody. He's the doll that's got the little pull string.
Yes.
Yeah. When he pulls the pull string, the first thing he says is, "There's a snake in my boot."
Oh, well, I think it comes from a drunk term. And so a term where someone's had so much to drink that go, I got a snake in my boot.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I never knew that. Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
So it has nothing to do with that. She came up with 2 titles. And I love that one for someone who's so catchy.
It is catchy.
I said we should kind of incorporate that in the movie somewhere with the snakes. We got 2 places for that, which works very nicely. So yeah, it's funny. We ride in thick ponies, just to let you know, when the dust is a-flailing. So that's all I'm going to say.
Okay. All righty.
One of the projects you worked with Rick on, I'll just pop this up, and then Rick, I'll leave it up to you. Was some Halloween, Death Walks Among Us. You played little Freddy Krueger's mom.
Yes, I did.
And I have a really cool picture right there.
Singing that, didn't I, Rick?
Yes, you did.
Yes, what a great cast. So fun. That little boy was amazing.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun. That was our Halloween fan film. We
Yes.
did part 1 and then decided to turn it into a trilogy. So we brought Cindy in because with that, we decided to kind of take it to that next level rather than just have it be about Michael Myers. We actually wove in Freddy Krueger, wove in Jason Voorhees, and also laid a bunch of Easter eggs for so many other of our favorite 80s and 90s horror films. So, I mean, I had Freddy's mom's role, and the only person I could ever think of to play that was Cindy. It was like a slam dunk with her. So another reason to bring her down.
I know so much. I love being a part of what Rick does because he's one of the most professional writers and directors I've ever worked with. His whole team, it's always on time. At least it seems like the food is always good. The actors are prepped. They know their stuff. And it's like everyone is so into it. When you're on a good set, you feel the energy. Sorry, you just feel it. It's all good when it's a good set. And it's always been like that. It's like, I don't know how this man just so organized. Blah, 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 blah. We're going to do this. Blah, blah, blah. And then we're going to do this date. Everything like month before you do it. It's like, how do you do this, Rick? It's just his mind.
Well, when you have no money, you've got to make it happen. You know?
I don't think he sleeps.
No, I don't sleep. I've got sleep penciled in for next year.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right.
First part of next year. First quarter.
Yeah, right. We got more stories.
Yeah.
But I think one of the first things I did for Rick, probably no sleep tonight. Now, I didn't do any dialogue or anything like that, but I did a lot of screaming. I did a lot of just little sounds for him for his introduction.
Yes.
That's like the very first thing that I did. And I went into my hall closet and screamed my ass off.
Oh, did you? Nice.
Yes, and you seem to like it, so that was awesome.
I did like it. Love a good scream.
I know you do.
Good scream.
Mostly on film, though, by the way. Let's just clarify.
Mostly on film. We'll just leave it at that, yeah.
Okay, all right. Another project that you guys worked together on, which just through Bayview Entertainment picked up this awesome movie, The Clock, for worldwide distribution. We talked about that last week. How was it? This seems to be right up your alley, Cindy. We had some prep notes sent to me, and you're not much of a slasher fan.
Not at all.
You are more of that thriller, suspense.
You saw that by my movie, right?
Absolutely.
Like chills, and I'd rather like a criminal walk in a house and you know he's going to rape the woman or do whatever. He just shuts the door.
Right. Yeah. You don't need to
leaves it to your imagination.
Yeah.
Yes. And
so The Clock was probably right up your alley, being, a supernatural kind of thriller.
Oh yeah, I even got to do a stunt. I got to elevate off the floor.
No teasers here. No spoilers.
No spoilers. I'm not going to give you spoilers about. Yeah, we have to be careful about this one.
Yeah, but we were very excited. It was a great role for Cindy, and whenever I try to have people that I consider, exceptional actors and actresses, which I consider Cindy as one.
Thank you.
I don't like to try and give them, something where they're just basically reciting lines or moving the story along or whatever. I like to try and push her a little bit. So for this one, especially so, we did a whole big makeup job with her.
Oh my gosh, it's phenomenal.
Between that, there's part of it. But then when you add in the special effects and stuff that we added around her as well, there we go. No spoilers. No spoilers. As he puts the spoilers up there.
But they don't know anything connects, and that's good.
It's all good. So anybody who's looking tonight, you got to see something you shouldn't have seen, but hey, that's Hollywood.
Hey, I'm blaming Amy on this one. She said
it's all good. It's all good.
Yeah, but no one knows how any of it connects, and they might intrigue them to see how it does. So it's not a negative. That's
no.
Not negative. Won't even no.
Right, but we just got picked up for international distribution, worldwide distribution. So hopefully by this summer, it's going to be on some, if not most, of the streaming services out there. We're putting together all the little trinkets and everything for Blu-ray release, which we'll be having that available as well. So yeah, we just want to. My job is.
Cannes. Something about this being at Cannes in
Well,
France?
we had gotten picked up by them as they were on their way to the Cannes Film Festival, so they
Oh,
had a booth there. So
okay.
once we agreed to it, they went ahead and added us to their poster, and they had their poster hanging up there in France, trying to sell it for overseas. So we got to be in France for a bit.
Rick, I'm so proud of you, really, and your team. I mean, just everyone loves you, and you know
Oh,
that.
well, thank you. But like I said, I feel everybody on my team is a family, and the bottom line is that my job as a writer and director is to get opportunities to make sure that my people get their work seen, because they're there on set, sometimes grueling hours, doing all this, and I want to make sure that they get their work recognized, which means getting our film in front of as many eyes as possible. So
Right,
that's my
exactly.
job.
Thank you. Yes, so proud to be a part of that. Seriously.
And that's kind of the underlining benefit to putting your films into these, film fest. Even if
Yep.
they don't walk away with an
Mhm.
award or whatnot, you get a lot of eyes on it.
Exactly.
And that's really the big thing that you want, is you want a lot of eyes on your projects. Speaking of projects, what do we have coming from the mind of Cindy in the future? After seeing what came out of your head with Manufactured, I
love
can't
one
wait.
title for movies. I really do. I have
Oh
another one
yeah.
called Regeneration, but I have not done that as a code. It was like a during COVID kind of thing. It's also very science fiction and very horror like, but I never wrote that one. Never wrote that one. So
Are you writing anything now?
I'm writing a comedy series.
No.
Is what I'm writing. Yeah, called Theodore. I'm real excited about that. We've done a read on it. It's a lot of fun. It's
Mhm.
good
But
little Pardon?
we also had Cindy in my Nightmare Collection Volume 2.
Yes.
Yep. Well, we got her to come in there and play Necro Nancy's mother. We introduced her in a after credit scene for Volume 2.
Did you call that a
And-
wraparound? Is that what a wraparound? Is that what that was?
Well, what it is basically, it's a horror anthology film, and as an anthology, it has a wraparound story.
Yeah.
And in the wraparound story, it introduces 3 separate short films. So when you plug them all together, it comes out to a feature-length film. And then after the credits, we had a bonus scene that introduced Cindy and her character, and then we continued her character in Volume 3, which films in July.
July. Yep.
There we go.
Yeah. Yep.
An indie horror junkie hookup.
That's right. That's going to be the first original feature film from Indie Horror Junkie. I mean, The Clock is under the Indie Horror Junkie banner as well, but The Clock was actually produced before Indie Horror Junkie was in existence, but we picked it up at the end. But Nightmare Collection 3 will be our first original feature film from Indie Horror Junkie. Very excited about it.
Yeah, you should be.
And it will be premiering when we're done shooting in July and August. I'm not sure if we've announced this yet, but the actual feature film itself is going to premiere at our Mistress Mary Horror Film Festival on October 26th at Cinema 6.
Oh, very nice.
So we may have to bring you back again.
You might.
We might have you there. There we go.
And I can watch all the horror films in that little house of yours.
Yeah, well, yeah, pretty much.
And all the hanging axes and all the scary stuff. It's amazing. I could sleep in there. I was afraid to open your bedroom closet, and there's like, you never know what you're going to find in Rick's house.
Everybody says that when they come in.
I go down there to film with him.
Everybody says that when they come in my house. Like, oh my God, how can you sleep? And look at all these horror things posting around here. And there's got to be ghosts walking all around this house. And I'm like, well, if they are, there's dishes to be done. There's garbage to be taken out.
Right.
Earn your keep.
No wonder I'm busy when I'm there. I fixed the door last time. Now it shuts.
Hey, we're letting too much out here, Cindy.
Man.
Otis is going to run with this.
Only friends, Otis, trust me.
Yep. The chats are kicking in now.
I'm sure.
Right.
Yep.
They want to rent this model.
We'll have you down here. So you don't like slasher movies, okay? But I've had you in like 3 different horror movies now.
Yeah.
And you haven't pitched a fit about any of them.
Not those, Rick. I guess because I think back when I was a kid, I've seen some really bad things where there was a guy that went around and killed women with tools and stuff like that. And it grossed me out. So the stuff that I saw as a kid, some of it was scary. I saw The Exorcist 3 times. It scared the crud out of me. Oh my
3
God.
times, huh?
Yes, but it was frightening.
Oh, I love The Exorcist.
I was studying acting when I was a kid too, so I wanted to see it from that perspective. But that was a scary film.
When is the first time you saw The Exorcist? What was the situation? Where was the environment that you saw it in?
What do you mean the environment? I was in a
Well, like for me, I can remember. I think I was like 6 or 7 years old, something like it, maybe 9 years old. I saw my parents brought me to the drive-in.
when did it come out? In the
75, 76, something like that.
I was already in my early 20s when I saw it. So
Oh, okay.
I was already studying acting in Hollywood with the Van Mar Academy. So I went to a movie theater to see it. I think
Because several people that I've talked to about that movie said they can remember exactly where they were, what they were doing when that watch, because it traumatized them.
Mm-hmm.
To me, it didn't traumatize me. I was 9 years old. I saw it, and I thought, like, wow, this is some good shit. I like it. You know, it was fun.
Soup. It's just pea soup.
It's just pea soup. That's all it was.
And you know what was really fun when I studied with Ivan is I got to meet the one that played the father in that.
Oh, really?
Yes, Jason Miller. He was in Hollywood filming. There was 5 of us from Ivan's class. We went over there to meet him. That was a really neat experience. I enjoyed it.
Yeah, I hear he was. I know he was a really good actor in that one.
Yes,
and but that's a classic film. I mean, but talking about, you live in Georgia, okay?
Yes.
What is the indie film scene like? Because I'm obviously Florida. I've been to Georgia and visited a little bit, but what is the indie film scene like in Georgia?
You know, I don't hear much here in Georgia.
Really?
Now, I'm not saying it doesn't happen with some indie filmmakers, but like when I apply for things on Actors Access, I don't see many of those. I don't see many horror films there. I'm sure there are some that are doing it. I mean, you're in it and you are one, so you know Florida's big in it, I think.
Florida's huge in it. That's why it surprises me because...
Well, we have Walking Dead here. And, you know, Kevin and Wendy, they come up here all the time for stuff.
Right. And they got Stranger Things there?
We have Stranger Things here. Yes, we do.
Yes, I figured the horror environment would be huge over there. So it's kind of surprising you say you don't hear much.
I don't hear much, but that doesn't mean that it's not.
Okay. All right.
I'm so tied in with you and what's going down there and all the horror film down there. I just don't see it up here. But someone might chime in and tell me where to go and say, yes, there is. I don't know.
Okay. All right.
And Manufactured, you wrote, directed, and acted in that.
I did.
What is your what's your go-to? Where you want to be in front of the camera, behind the camera? Because I know they both have, you know, I guess benefits in certain ways artistically.
It does. I learned a lot about being in front of the camera by being behind the camera. And I learned a lot from the professional actors that I had in this. There was 2 big professional actors that were in it. And I learned how they set up a scene, how they take those minutes, seconds before, and things that they did, and how they work the camera. I saw from doing things that how to work the camera, what looks good on camera. Actors need to know how to work the camera, when to when to do certain things. And I learned just from watching behind that lens. I love all of it. I love all of it. I can't say
the whole process. Yeah. I've always been a fan of, you know, the behind the scenes, watching how movies were made and things like that. Just it fascinated me. And I did get a chance. I did, you know, my first little acting gig earlier this year. And it was fascinating to see, even on a very, you know, micro budget crew and everything. It was fascinating to me. So you don't really pick one over the other then. I
love all of it. If I had my own cameras, I'd be making my own stuff. I'd be making stuff even if no one was here, because I love to play characters. I do like an Eddie Murphy dinner scene, and I would record each one of them, put them all together and edit it. Because I just love, I never think, this is my motto, I never think I can't do anything. I don't think that I can't do something. I want to do it, I do it. I want to build something, I build it. And I want to write something, I write it. And I love that I have that in me, because it makes me enjoy life better, because I'm not afraid to do something or fix something or looks, you know what I mean? I love it. I'm not afraid to try it, or if it fails, it fails. Doesn't mean I'm going to stop. I just happen to have, in my opinion, success with that first film. My first film. I thought it was good. Everyone that sees it. So the only thing I think that maybe it didn't do well in some of the film fests is because of the copyright issues. Because I did want to submit something one time. It said they can't have any copyright issues. So it could have been that. Because Johnny Carson, I don't know. I don't know why it didn't go, but Rick took it. That's okay.
Yeah, I honestly don't think that the copyright issue does or plays a big part when it comes to film festivals.
Oh,
There
okay.
may be some film festival that does, but as far as that goes, no, I don't usually think that comes into play there. Because I didn't even think about that. Basically, when you submit your film for film festivals, most of them have that little disclaimer that says basically you're taking responsibility for anything in your film, because we're not selling your film. As long as we're not selling your film,
I know that's the thing.
That's why the copyright issues really don't come into play for us, because we're not profiting from it. So if we're not profiting from it, there's really nothing for them to sue us for.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Now, if you go and get distribution, that's a different animal there. So you have to clear that up.
And it will be so easy for us to do that. So I'm not too worried about it.
Well, good. I definitely want to chat with you about that afterward. I think I got an idea.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, absolutely.
In some of my notes, Cindy, you made a statement that when it comes to getting work, there's 10% the agent, 90% yourself.
That's
Would you like to elaborate on that? Because you mentioned you do a lot of networking and word of mouth get you, quite a bit of work. I know myself trying to, do a role here and there. This could be a little informative for me, as well as some of our listeners who are new to or want to get in it.
I guess the reason I say that, Otis, is because agents, they get 10%. And now I don't have an agent. I dropped mine 3 years ago. All the work that I'm getting is everything I've done on my own, and the networking and attending film fests and all of that stuff. Because I'm the kind of person, I can't wait and stand at the door with everybody else knocking and being in line waiting. If I'm going to wait, I'm going to create. If I'm going to wait, I'm going to do something, and I'm going to go in through that back door through a window. I'm coming in. That's what I'm going to do. And so that's my attitude. Again, it goes back to there's nothing I don't think I can do. So the 90% is I try to get in with other filmmakers. I use my movie as a calling card. And, I've had Western photos done. I use different things for different genres. I've got stuff with Rit. So it's like, I want to get in. I want people to know who I am. And my name gets around, and I just, I get work from that. I get people calling me. I just submitted to something that I got, that I did an audition for, but it's just how it is. I'm doing Rick stuff. I've met Werner and different people down there too. And I just never know. Amy got me a job on The Annihilator.
There you go.
Before I'm going to play a mafia mom,
Mm-hmm.
That guy loved it. I chose to be a drunk in it because this woman would be that, the way the sun keeps her. So, and he loved my take on that. And I take risks, Otis, big risks. I do my own tapings at home. I do my own voices on the other side of this phone. I hit play, and they're going to talk, and I'm going to say my line. I don't know when they're going to talk. I book that way. I don't go pay someone to be the reader. It just works that way.
That's awesome.
It's not ethical, but it works for me. And Rick probably feels the same way. We can't live in a box. I cannot live in a box where most people live. Can't do this. You can't do that. You got to do this. No, you can't do that. Well, I'm doing it all. I'm going to do it all backwards. I'm going to do it all wrong, but I'm going to have fun doing it.
There you go.
I book those ways.
You've had some comments on here talking about your networking there. Take it away, Otis.
Yeah, let's see. Howard Hawkins, networking yourself is a big deal. Don't give up on it. Gavin says did some tech and artwork on an indie film years ago, and have considered doing more things. Love to see all the creative people out there, and that is really, networking. That's really what it's about.
Huge.
I asked, a director on my friends list, about, he asked me where I was at, and I told him I was in Ohio. He was like, there's tons of indie horror filmmakers out that way. I'm like, what? Where are they? Am I just in the wrong part of the state? And it turns out I was. They're more up north, but I've reached out, I've made, little connections, told them what I've done in the past, keep me in mind, one of those kind of things, just touching base with them, and maybe something will come along. But that is, a big part, promoting yourself, doing those little photo shoots, which I do have. Amy did send me a picture of your little cowboy, cowboy look.
Yeah.
Look at that.
Yep. Christian Meza was the photographer for that. That was out in Tucson at Rick Harker's Western Town and Museum, where we did all those.
That's awesome. So, it gives it gives depth in what you're able to do and how you can take on different looks. And that's just, one of the ways, I guess, you have to go about it. You don't want to, if you ain't got a whole lot of money, 10% is going to be a lot of money if you got to give it to, an agent or however much their percentage is. You don't want to give nothing if you can do it yourself.
Right. And I submit mostly on Actors Access, but I pick things I'd want to do. And we have SCAD here, which is the Savannah, Creative Arts Department or something like that. And they have cameras and all the equipment. They teach them to be DPs and writers and directors. They have cameras worth, I remember one thing I was on, it was worth, he said, Cindy, this camera's $30,000. This camera's $50,000. This lens alone is $20,000. That's the equipment they use. I will work free on those sets for those. And I always think about Martin Scorsese, who was in college, started making films, and he knew people back then that stayed with them, made films. How do I not know? There's 2 directors that I've worked with in the last 7 years at the colleges, and 2 of them I'm in contact with. One is in Hollywood right now, and this kid's brilliant. And he sends me his stuff he does, and you blow me away, Alexander. He was a cameraman on one of my shows. I'm manufactured. So I stay connected with people too. It's not just networking. I stay connected. Whether they do or not, I stay connected. How you doing?
Right.
Your mom? What's going on? You got a new project? I saw a new project. Wow, that's really awesome. Congratulations. And I comment on their stuff. And that's how I do my networking, and it really works. Or I just went to Tennessee this weekend. This Kenny Lee made this amazing Western, and he wants to write me in it. We've connected just through Facebook. It was that quick. And I believe he will do that. So I went all the way out there just to see him and connect with all those people. It's wonderful and so fun. I'm enjoying my journey. If I can say anything, you guys.
Absolutely.
Enjoy the journey. Don't worry about the end result. Just enjoy that journey and have fun. Do creative fun stuff. Do different characters. Do it free. Do it for money. Do whatever. That's how you get out there.
Yeah.
Stipulations. I've seen people do it. Okay.
Because you never know who you're going to meet and what opportunity is going to open up from that meeting.
Yeah, absolutely.
What scene you're going to get from that you can use for your reel that gets you a big job somewhere else. You did that with that college kid? Yeah. Wow, I really like it. You just don't know.
No, you don't.
Yeah. Howard says just by networking, he's done 5 full feature films, 2 shorts, and fixing to do one for Rick and another company in Tampa.
Yep. Love it.
Yeah.
Just by networking.
My film family is growing.
Networking. Yeah. Just keep networking, connecting, keep doing, do your own stuff, do your stuff your way, how you want to do it. I do my auditions the way I want to do it. I don't care about anything else. This is what I'm doing with this character.
Yeah. And now by getting involved with us here, Otis is trying to get involved in movies. As a matter of fact, Otis is going to be down here as a PA while we're filming Nightmare Collection 3 with you, Cindy.
Yay, Otis!
You'll get to meet him in the flesh.
Yay, yay. I'm looking forward to that.
My first PA job, but, hey, I figured, I want to wear as many hats as I possibly can. Because I don't know where any one of these are going to land.
That's right.
Would I like to be, a silent mass killer, the kind that you don't like, Cindy, but I am a special fan. But would I like to be that? Absolutely.
I just don't like to see it, Otis. I don't like to see people get slashed and cut up. I don't mind if I know he's going to do it. I think there's a difference. Some things are hard to see.
No,
it's hard to see. I haven't seen anything that Rick's done that's really been like that. I might be wrong, but it's like he has stories also. Stories are really important. Some people want to slash up. There's no story.
Right.
Westerns are being like that. The shoot 'em up, the bang bang, but no real stories. It's just always the same thing.
It really is, even with the slasher genre. And I don't know. I still love it.
I would like to do a Western horror, and I think Rick one time was talking.
That would be awesome.
Yes, I think
I have an idea.
Done with
God, he's already got one written down back there.
To do, because Westerns are hot, indie stuff, these horror things are hot. Put them together and see what you got.
Yeah, we got this place around here called Dry Creek, which is basically a Western town just built specifically for filming. And I've been dying to go over there and dying to check it out. So that's why I started the wheels churning about a Western horror film. And I know if I get the Western horror film going, I have to have Cindy involved. It has to happen.
Great Miss Kitty too.
There you go.
Oh yeah, I did one of the shots. I didn't send it, but I had a red wig and everything. And I really liked that character that I did. That I got a photograph of.
Well, I am going to flesh that out as soon as we get through. If I can get through Nightmare Collection 3 and be done with that and finish Velocity Kings and everything else, and still be standing at the end, I'm going to look to do that.
Won't that'd be so fun? So fun. Seriously.
It'll be 11.
And so Otis, maybe there's a part for you because you look like you could fit there.
No, I'm sure we'll get Otis in something.
Look at him.
There's no doubt. We got to make that dream come true for him.
Very Western, kind of creepy, kind of cool look, man.
Yep, seen with that jug hat, sitting in the corner somewhere with a shotgun. I can see it now.
Oh yeah.
Hell, I can see it now.
Yeah, I can see him just rocking on that rocking chair. Goes, hey, there's a snake in my boot.
Oh. My goodness.
That will be funny though.
Yes, it will be.
Yeah. And I think as an actor, it's like I like to be versatile because I do plays too, and they can't all be horror stuff. But I do enjoy working with Rick on what he does. And I don't oppose doing more or like joining forces with that and a Western horror type thing. Love it. I love the creepiness. I love scaring the audience. I do love the thrills and chills that come with it. That's the kind of horror I like. I don't need to see him slash him up. I like to think it's going to happen or it is happening.
Well, I know Tom Savini, and he's one of the biggest names in the horror industry. And he told me a long time ago that you will scare people more with what you don't show them than anything you can put on screen.
No,
and I believe that because your mind can draw up so many things that would scare you a lot more.
Well, that's what Otis was saying about my film. He knows there wasn't a lot of dialogue in scenes, but there was that you could feel the intensity and what was going on in the scene without having to tell you anything. Because there's that scene where I beat the guy in my bed. And I wanted to do it through the fan. That was my idea. And then lights out, I call it when she goes bam, and it goes dark. I like stuff like that. So I like that.
All right. Well, we're getting ready to close it out here, it looks like.
Well, thank you guys.
Well, before we go, I mean, let people know where they can find you, some of the stuff that you've got coming up. Obviously, we know you're coming down here in July for Nightmare Collection 3. But what else have you got going on, and where can people go if they want to look you up for potential acting gigs or things like that?
Well, they can look me up on IMDb. Of course, everyone has that. I do have things. You've already mentioned my YouTube. It's Cindy Copeland 1112. I have Instagram, but I don't use it that much right now. I'm on Facebook. Just find Cindy Copeland, friend me. I'm right there on Facebook. I post a lot of stuff on there, auditions, everything, things I do. So that's another networking thing that I use that has effect. It has an effect. I've been hired for several projects that are coming up this year, and in Western in spring next year in Texas. I'm looking forward to that too.
Yep. And like I said earlier, everybody, Cindy does live in Georgia, but she comes here. I drag her down here to Florida all the time. So if you've got something going on, I have
wheels. I can travel.
Have roll, will travel.
That's right. And I can fly too. It's hard on the wings, the arms, but I still do it.
Yes, you do. All right. Well, once again, thank you so much for being with us today. If you can just hold on for a few minutes, we're going to close the show out real quick here. We'll keep you backstage, and when we close out, we'll come back and we'll chat for a bit and say goodbye.
Guys, you're awesome.
Talk to you in a few.
Thanks, Cindy. Oh man, that was a good one. A little rocky start, but man, it all smoothed out in the end.
Well, she's an amazing talent and even more of a beautiful person. I mean, I'm just honored just to be able to have her on set. So that's one of those things where you network, you meet people, and you tend to find ways to get them involved because you just love being around them. And she's a person that I love being around.
Absolutely. And there's ours, all of our contact info. If you would like to inquire about being in the magazine, having a project featured in the magazine, or coming on the podcast, hit us up right there, indiehorrorjunkie@gmail.com. As you've heard, Rick is quite busy, so it may take a minute for him to get back with you.
But I will.
But he will. What is it? What is this? Haunt Scene. Hello, friends. Well, I'm sorry, but
hey, Haunt Scene. I was just on their podcast last week.
Yeah.
They did or the week before last. They did a great job. I was so excited to be on there. So
Awesome.
Thank you guys for chiming in, and Howard Hawkins and Kevin, everybody else in the chat. Thank you guys very much for chatting with us. We'll try to get more of your questions on the air and stuff as we continue each week. But thank you guys so much for chiming in.
Next week, we are going to have, we tried to get him on earlier a while back. Michael Joy, Marketing Macabre, Fear Village, writer, director. We're finally going to get him on. I've been waiting.
Yeah, very excited about that.
So, we have him coming up next week. Don't forget, get your magazine, digital copy, T-shirts, coffee cups, everything. Get it all.
Absolutely.
That right, Greg?
That's right.
All right. Take us out, my friend.
All right. Well, guys, once again, thank you guys for another great show, and we'll see you next Wednesday.